Okay, Matt, we got the memo about the Kindness Rising promo, but what exactly are we promising people?
And is there craft services? Hey, I need snacks too.
Gentlemen, focus. Kindness Rising multiplies kindness and helps people get up on the right side of the bed.
So wait, we're not doing another angry headline show.
Exactly. We rise above the negative, divisive noise.
Translation, less rage bait, more high fives for humanity.
And this is live, like actually live.
Yep. We go live on YouTube and LinkedIn, 7:30 a.m. Eastern every weekday.
Wait, if it's live, what if I forget my lines?
Then you improvise.
Okay, so our tagline is basically wake up, tune in, and start your day with kindness.
Exactly. Kindness Rising. Good vibes, practical tips, and a reason to get up on the right side of the bed.
You heard the boss. Subscribe now before he makes us do a TikTok dance.
Kindness Rising. Wake up, tune in, and let's make some good noise. Good morning, good morning, good morning, friends, and welcome into day 2 of Magic Week. Today we are talking about something subtle, but it is huge. The magic of familiar places, the spots we forgot to notice until suddenly they remind us of who we are, what we survived, or who we are becoming. And sometimes they carry more magic than the biggest moments. So let's rise.
Every morning, the world starts quietly. One soft light at a time. Homes flicker awake, shops open. People take those first small steps into a brand new day. And in all of that ordinary movement, there's something kind of extraordinary. A moment worth noticing. A spark you feel before you even name it. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's small, but kindness shows up right on time. And every morning we choose to show up with you so we can look for that spark together.
Good morning. I'm Matt Rouff, the Uncommon Kindness Guy. And this is Kindness Rising. Let's rise together.
People carry around small objects for comfort, a lucky penny, a photo, or a stone, but we also carry places inside of us the same way. One familiar spot that isn't fancy, it isn't famous, but somehow it still hits you right here. You can picture it right now, that little stretch of sidewalk where you waited for the bus as a kid, the staircase where you took a deep breath maybe after some bad news, a bedroom where you dreamed about your future, or maybe the parking lot where you made a decision and never looked back. These places are magical because they witnessed us, sometimes at our most vulnerable and sometimes at our most hopeful. But here's the deeper question. Do familiar places hold power over us, or do they simply reflect the power we grew into? Places don't just remind us of the past, they reveal who we are now. And here's the twist. Sometimes you revisit a place and realize you've outgrown the version of you who once needed it. There's a quiet kind of magic in that too. So good morning, everyone. Welcome to Kindness Rising this morning. Get involved in the comments. JJ Jelly, Alex Carrion, 3991. I am glad you have chosen to spend your time with us here at Kindness Rising, where we get up and get after her. Mike Sullivan, good morning. I am so glad you are here as always too. I love it when our people come back. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Come on back. Tell us what you're up to today. How are you getting up and getting after it as we talk about those places, those special places in our hearts where we remember, we recall, maybe we've outgrown it, maybe we just hold it dear to us. When we revisit, we get a special feeling, all those kinds of things. Tell us about where that is. What is a familiar place from your past that still lives rent-free? Good morning, Roseanne Roof. Good morning, Mother. From your past that still lives in your heart, rent-free, in your heart or in your head. Maybe there's places you don't want to remember and somehow you got to get rid of it. William Zims, welcome. Glad you are here. You're about to go to school, Alex. Okay, well, have a great day in school. I hope school becomes a memorable place for you. Snapshot Sniper asks Drew Carey. Oh, you're not the first person who's made the connection to my headband and the guy from the Drew Carey show. I forget his name. Diedrich Bader was the actor, and I forget the character's name. Anyway, yeah, people have made that connection. I don't know. It's just something fun. When I put it on, this is my going live fit. It's not how I look most of the time, but it's what I do. It's what I do. It helps me to get in the mode. Absolutely. Flushing Meadow Park, Flushing Meadow, Queens, near Shea Stadium and the tennis center. That's your spot, Sully? Are you from the East Coast? I heard actually, Sully, that that area is being considered for the first casino in the New York metro area, which is mind-boggling to me. I saw a news bit about that New York City, which ironically, I don't know, this is one of those, does art imitate life or does life imitate art? I just finished watching the Only Murders in Our Building, most recent season. And there may be a connection to that idea. Anyway, that's a great show too. Love it. One of my favorite shows. Never miss it. We watch it only when we can sit down and watch it and kind of binge it. Not full binge, but a couple episodes at a time, and we commit to getting her done. Great show. All right. Well, welcome everybody. I am so glad you have chosen to come here and spend your time with us here on Kindness Rising. We are talking about familiar places and places that may give you a certain special feeling. And I think Cal and Stan have something to say too.
This old janitor closet is not a portal.
Then why does it smell like adventure?
It smells like mop water. Adventure has layers. Some people reconnect with childhood homes. Stan reconnects with cleaning closets.
Visionary.
But in all the wrong directions.
All right. Stan connecting to a janitor's closet. The point is it can be anywhere, whatever that connection, that place is for you, that brings back those memories, that triggers a special feeling. And I'm interested in what yours is. I want to talk about a place too that kind of meets both objectives. The first objective being to tell you about a place that triggers happy memories for me. The second objective is to align with our mission here, which is to multiply kindness and unlock growth for good people doing good work in the world. And today I want to spotlight an organization right here in my hometown, the Binghamton area, that captures the magic of familiar spaces better than almost anywhere else. And it's called the Discovery Center of the Southern Tier. For decades, this place has been a spark maker, a memory builder, and a familiar landmark for generations of families. You don't walk into the Discovery Center to be entertained. You walk in to remember what it feels like. The hands-on exhibits, childhood programs, the storybook garden, all those things are designed to be a place where imagination spills into the air. Children run through it like it's the first world they feel fully free in. It is amazing. It's a place built on connection, connecting with ideas, and families connecting with children, their children, strangers connecting over creativity. Sometimes us parents, we would talk about what's going on in the Discovery Center absolutely while our kids were running around. It's what happens when a community decides to invest in curiosity and then protect it. So big love to the educators, staff, volunteers, and families who make that place more than a museum. They make it a memory factory. And that is Discovery Center. We've been going to the Discovery Center. It wasn't around when I was really little. It came right after my generation. But trust me, I've had cousins, and I have had babysitting jobs, and my kids, of course, is the biggest thing. We spend a lot of time, still spend a lot of time at the Discovery Center. As a matter of fact, most recently, one of my kids who's taking a photography class in college had to do a creative project. The first place the pictures were taken was at the Discovery Center Storybook Garden. So that is where our memories are being built and have been built. And if you're ever in the Binghamton area, especially with kids, check out the Discovery Center. But I hope maybe it gave you a little spark. There's probably a similar organization in your community wherever you live. And I hope that you will support the development of our children, their creativity, and building memories together, because that is what it's really all about. Cheers. I hope everybody's having a great day out there in Kindness Rising Land on the Mornings in the Lab Network. All right. Well, let's see what else. I still got the banner up there. Got to get that off of there. We're making it happen. All right, let's move on.
Hey, dude. It's 1985. My allowance is $7, my fashion is questionable, and my priorities are high score on Pac-Man and an orange Julius. Mom, can you drive me to the mall?
Okay, Gen Xers, buckle up. Today we're going all the way back to one of our most iconic and familiar places, the mall. It wasn't just shopping, it was an ecosystem. You weren't just walking around, you were actually discovering yourself, spending time with your friends. It's where you develop social skills. It's where you developed independence, confidence, and that sixth sense for knowing which store had the best air conditioning in the summer. Absolutely. I spent a lot of my youth in the mall. This is our Be Kind Rewind, talking about a special place in our hearts. I know you people have spent a lot of time in your malls too. Absolutely. Well, some of the stores that were in our mall, I mentioned Orange Julius. I was definitely on my way for an Orange Julius when I went to the mall. They also had Strawberry Julius. Does anybody remember Strawberry Julius? Absolutely. Um, a mall associated treat. I loved a place, actually, Orange Julius was right next to one of my favorite places where my curiosity was always piqued. It was called Reader's Island, one of those center uh, kiosks, huge though. You could walk through. It was basically like a bookstore, a magazine store. It was called Reader's Island. I just can remember sipping my Orange Julius and looking at magazines and comics and all kinds of uh, books and whatever. I just remember walking through there. Absolutely. Spencer's Gifts. Spencer's still exists. I went into a Spencer's a couple of where the heck was that I went into a Spencer's? I don't know. You don't need to know my adventures. It's just not the same. It's just not the same. They try to make it the same, but it was so mysterious and forbidden, taboo when we were kids. Like, oh, are you gonna go back there? I don't know. Are you gonna go back there? Oh, I don't know. Did you see what was there? Beep, 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 boop, boop. Kid stuff. Spencer's is still out there though. I think Hot Topic has taken over a lot of the Spencer stuff. Spencer's always had brands and that kind of stuff, but Hot Topic I think is for the kids who are into, I don't know what you call it, fandoms of sci-fi and Pokemon and all that stuff. Anyway, so talking about the mall, tell me if you got any. Oh, shoot. You got any great memories of the mall from your youth? Perhaps. How about I'm thinking about the mall right now, just taking a moment of peace and thinking about the mall and the places that we used to go. Um, Samples at Hickory Farms. Oh, if you could walk by and they were giving out the summer sausage or the beef sticks. That's something I remember. Absolutely. All right. So anyway, the malls out there. Malls are on a bit of a comeback. They're being built differently now. I know our mall here in town has had some couple of anchor stores added, a BJ's Wholesale, and what else is in there now? BJ's Wholesale. They still have a JC Penney, a couple of those kind of things. But there's some stores popping up. They've got a Five Below in there. Huge. Getting your ears pierced at the mall. Yes, mother. Yes, absolutely. Good one. Claire's Boutique, I guess, is the place. Now my kids got their ears pierced at the mall. Absolutely here. When I got my ear pierced, that was a story. That wasn't at a mall in Binghamton. That was a mall down at the beach in Wildwood, New Jersey. Actually, it wasn't even a mall. It was a boardwalk store. You know, those very clean, healthy places to get your ear pierced when you're 12 or 13 years old. Yeah. Mom, memories? You sent me down with the church and I came home with my ear pierced. That was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. Anyway, that's a little memory of getting my ear pierced. Absolutely. My hole is still active. Every once in a while I pop one in just to goof around. And that's what I'm doing today, a little bit of to apparently on Kindness Rising is goofing around, because that's what happens when you go live. Sometimes you just go and you start talking about stuff you did not intend to talk about. Absolutely. But I am glad you're sticking around here on Kindness Rising, 7:30 a.m. Eastern every weekday. I come right here, Kindness Rising live on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Facebook. You can find me. I'm Matt Rouff, the Uncommon Kindness Guy, and I love going live every day. And you can too. You can go live. And here's the thing, make it about your places. Your places, it can be anywhere. Go live from anywhere. I've moved around as I've gone live. I do have a little set up. Absolutely still have a great setup right here going live. It doesn't have to be a big fancy studio or a high-tech command center. It doesn't have to be even have an aesthetic. What matters is that it's yours, because your setup, whether it's a full studio, a corner in your bedroom, your kitchen table, or in your car between meetings, becomes a familiar place too. Jalen Jules, welcome in. I am glad you have chosen to spend your time here saying interesting things. Anyway, I am so glad that you have chosen to spend your time here doing that. Yeah. In the snowstorms, well, yeah, I've got lots of snowstorms experiences. Certainly there are snowstorms happening here. It's not that bad, though. It's not bad out there right now. Absolutely. So anyway, I was talking about going live. I'm trying to think of what you mean about my experiences in the snowstorm, Roseanne Roof. Which experiences? I had lots of experiences in lots of snowstorms. It's not that bad here today, though. Anyway, when you go live, you can go live from your real setup. It doesn't have to be your ideal one, but it does have to be the real one. And why don't you tell us why a familiar place would bring out your voice? What place would you go live in? If you were picturing yourself going live, you can do it. Oh, no school, going to mall. Yeah. 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 Absolutely. So, if you're interested in going live and you don't know how, you just are curious at all about it, if you want to be able to come up and wake up with people or share your message, share your point of view, it is the way of the future, and we can help you do it here on the Mornings in the Lab Network as we build our network with Keith Billis and John Anderson and Christopher Martin and the entire team at the Mornings in the Lab Network, who's helping us get up and get after it every day. Every day.
Follow us here and subscribe to Kindness Rising on YouTube. The pony demands it.
Okay, not what I intended to do, but there you go. You got a shot at the pony again. Yeah, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We want you to come back every day, Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, right here on Kindness Rising and part of the Mornings in the Lab Network. And one thing we always do is try to get reconnecting people and have you reconnecting people. What we do here on Kindness Rising is give you some thoughts, some actions, some deeper ways to connect with the subject matter. And today we're talking about familiar spaces that shaped you. So here's some ideas. Return with intention. Visit a place that used to matter. If you have triggered a memory that it used to matter, go in with open eyes, though, not with the nostalgia blur. Be surprised by what you see now and how you sense it. Here's another thing. Let your memory meet maturity. Ask yourself when you go back to that, who was I the last time I stood there? And who am I now? The gap in between that, that's where growth was. That is the growth, that is the change. And that's why those memories, those anchored places serve us so well. Here's an idea. Use your familiar places differently. Maybe go sit on your porch with your phone if you have to talk to somebody, or sit on a different place on the couch. That's simple as that, right? Um, absolutely. That will help you. That will help you to reclaim maybe what once overwhelmed you, or will help you to see things in a different way. And the last, plant kindness in a place that planted something in you. When you go back, leave a note, smile at a stranger, hold the door, give someone else the chance to feel something good here too. Familiar places are story keepers, and sometimes they're waiting for you to write the next chapter. So there it is. That is some ways to reconnect with your familiar places today. And let's see what Sensei Whiskers has to think about places.
If a place lets you exhale, that is magic. Even if it smells like old carpet.
Yeah. Even if it smells like old carpet, that's the whole point. The smell will probably be a big trigger when you go back to one of those familiar places. Absolutely. Our parks, the carousels, the monkey bars. Absolutely. Great places. I'm glad you're having good memories out there, Mom. How about everybody else? What's a place that you remember from your childhood or from whatever might be of significance to you? Good question. Here's one I meant to ask. I knew I had one in my pocket here. What's a familiar place where you got into the most innocent trouble? It happened. I know you had a place where you would go and you would get into a little bit of shenanigans, right? Probably with your friends running around, hopefully. I know I had my places of innocent trouble. Maybe not so innocent. I might be shocked, actually, if my kids did some of the stuff that I did, if I heard that, but we did it. The river, down by the river. Yep, down back behind Riverside Drive, there were trails, and we'd go out there and screw around back there, ride our bikes, cause troubles, probably take risks that we shouldn't have. But that is a place for me where I got into some innocent trouble for sure. How about you? Did you get into any innocent trouble? Sullivan, you must have, if you were your youth in Flushing Meadow Parks, probably saw some trouble. Well, when you go live, you get to share these kinds of things. I actually enjoy it. It's fun for me to remember those things and remember that kid I was when I was, running around and doing my thing in town. Those were simpler times in some ways. I think that's part of the nostalgia of it, is remembering that they were simpler times, but there were lessons in all of those experiences that we shared. Absolutely. And I did it again. Something has happened with my workflow. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, you don't think the algorithm is listening to you? I mentioned Diedrich Bader earlier in my conversation. Somehow he's in my YouTube feed right now. Curiosities always. I'm looking for what Keith's show was. Does anybody know? Anybody else anticipating going live with Keith today? Health wake-up calls, the moment men finally change. Ooh, that's a good one. Absolutely. I'm sure there are people out there in the world that have had health wake-up calls. I've had some that have, whoa. Hello, there we go. Little camera work. Anyway, that's today's show. I am glad that you came out and joined us. Get on over to see Keith on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Friends here on the Mornings in the Lab Network. Join us every weekday, 7:30 a.m. for Kindness Rising, and then 8 a.m. for Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Friends, where we have some real conversation over there. Always leaving with some information, some education, some entertainment for sure. Yeah, we've talked about that with our personal branding. I'll be talking more about that too. What can certainly help you with your personal branding as part of your Go Live experience. If you want to and care to join us here on the Mornings in the Lab Network, where we go live every day. I appreciate you. Certainly, familiar places are vital to our experience. I know for me, they are memory triggering. They are growth identifying, an opportunity for a little bit of self-awareness, just like we have every morning here on Kindness Rising at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. I hope you'll come back. And until then, stay uncommon, stay kind. What if your mornings could be inspiring and ridiculously fun?
Kindness Rising isn't just a show, it's a full wake-up vibe.
It's freaking fun, people.
Yeah, man, it's got real get after it energy.
I love it.
Wake up with Kindness Rising.
I help purpose-driven people grow their impact. 5-ingredient recipe to help you build your personal brand. Get out there and take kind action.
If it's live, they'll feel it.
On Kindness Rising, we bring you proven strategies and fresh ideas you can actually use. If you're not failing, you're not trying.
Exactly. Fail fast, rebound faster.
You'll see the bloopers and the genuine connections that make kindness contagious. We sometimes get into a little bit of trouble.
Pretty much my life made the list.
You can trust what you see right here is honest, respectful, and uplifting. Social impact organizations, and we always talk about them. Try kindness. It's way cheaper than therapy. You just made my day.